The dramatic spread of COVID-19 in China is pushing the U.S. to introduce new rules for travelers coming from that country. Starting 1 week from today, anyone leaving China for the U.S. will have to test negative for COVID before getting on a plane. As Scott MacFarlane reports, the Biden administration is acting now because it's worried about cases rising and new variants emerging.
Hospitals in China are overwhelmed, pushed to the brink, and funeral processions are constant. The world's most populated nation is awash in COVID, and many areas are unprepared.
If you go to Beijing, they have so many good hospitals. But if you go to third-tier cities or like rural areas, it's total difference.
But at the same time, after months of protest and unrest, the Chinese government abruptly lifted its strict zero COVID restrictions, which had limited movement and the spread of the virus.
China has suddenly loosened up its restrictions left and right. And that's just provided an extraordinary opportunity for this virus to just, like a volcano, explode.
So, starting next week, the U.S. is joining a growing list of nations requiring people traveling from China to have tested negative for COVID within 48 hours of departure to be allowed through.
Ready for testing?
And the Centers for Disease Control announced it's expanding its COVID surveillance program at U.S. airports, in which passengers volunteer to undergo a nasal swab to better detect a new wave of cases. Health experts hope these new measures help.
No barrier is perfect, but putting up this barrier for testing is a prudent thing to do to try to keep potential new variants out of this country for as long as possible.
Doctors warn while there may be benefits, they could be minimal. Travel restrictions put in place at the start of the pandemic were not able to stop all the virus or all the variants. Nate?
Scott, thank you. We appreciate you.